Hi, everybody. This is Paul Wilson again, talking with you about genius. Now, I want to talk with you, not to you, not at you. I want to be engaged with you so that you can understand the big deal. One of the things that I specialize in is the why, WHY, operating system. Simon Sinek wrote that book, it was published back in 2009. Since then, it's been a bestseller, obviously. And it's also created a lot of energy in the community for people helping people. What's your why? Have you ever heard that question? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Why operating system is a unique survey that was developed by Gary Sanchez after collaborating with Simon Sinek about the why in general. And why operating system is what I think is exposing, discovering, uncovering your genius. And so I've heard that word a lot lately anyway, and realizing that you are a genius. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm a genius too. In fact, I want to be called genius. And you're a genius. What's your reaction when I say you're a genius? Most people, honestly, snicker. Not a genius. Who do you think of when I say the word genius? Albert Einstein is the number one answer on that Family Feud thing. It's probably 98%. Albert Einstein said, everyone's a genius. Yeah. A genius said, everyone's a genius. Not in the same way, but everyone's a genius. So, if that's true, you're a genius. How do you find it? Well, there is a book out written by Ozan Varol who talks about awakening your genius. I'm going to go through a couple of things of the book and actually give you some suggested next steps for you because I think this is incredibly important. If you don't think you're a genius, maybe you're barking up the wrong tree, literally. Because Albert Einstein also said famously, if you're a fish trying to climb a tree, you'll probably be living your whole life thinking you're stupid. If you're a fish in the water, you're not stupid. So you just need to realize who you are and what your special talents are, what that burning bright light is inside of you. And I think that is real key to awakening your genius. And so the book starts out with these 5 themes, and I'll go through them one by one. Reject the script. The script is a suggestion. Now, go to school, get good grades, get a job, live happily ever after, get your golden watch at the end of 30 or 40 or 50 years of time, and then get retired. That's not a script that I'm interested in either. Doesn't interest me. And it doesn't sound very exciting. So reject the script and write your own script. He even mentions genius isn't in conformity. It's found in questioning, challenging, and reimagining. Can you reimagine your future? Reject the script. Number 2, curiosity is your superpower, your catalyst. Asking questions and listening for answers and then responding to the answers and asking more questions. It's not telling people what they need to know. It's not telling people what you know. It's asking questions. Because if you already know what you know, you don't know what the other people know. Curiosity, ask a question. Have you ever heard of Pareto's principle, 80-20? The 80-20 rule. In conversation, I like to think it's like asking and listening 20%. Asking 20% and listening 20%. The more you listen, the more you find out stuff you didn't know. Now, you don't necessarily believe everything you hear, but at least it's new information that you can choose to accept or reject. So the thing is, curiosity is a superpower, it's a catalyst. Stay intentionally curious. Stay curious. Number 3, embrace contradiction and tension. Contradiction and tension creates a situation where you're outside of your comfort zone, you're outside of your normal boundaries. Maybe you're learning something that you didn't know about. One of my mentors, Larry Kendall from Fort Collins, Colorado, says you're exactly the same today as you were yesterday, except for 3 things. The people you meet, the places you go, and the books you read. So embrace contradiction. Embrace it. Number 4, create. Don't copy. Orson Welles is famous for saying, be yourself. Everyone else has already taken. Truth. It's better to be yourself, your original, authentic, personable self, than to be a second-rate copy of somebody else. You may want to emulate somebody for 1 or 2 or 3 of their characteristics or traits that you admire, but be yourself. Take that. We do 1, 2, 3 things. We were talking about scripts a little earlier, and one of the things that I have learned in my real estate business is that when you get a script, when you're first new in the business, you imitate. So you imitate. But then you assimilate, you make it yours. You see the words you need to say to somebody in terms of the marketing. But then you make it your words, and so there's not exact words off the sheet. There's something that flow out of your mouth naturally. And then thirdly, if you ever need to get there, you innovate. This is what this is saying. Once you get it, once you get the script, once you've assimilated it, maybe you need to innovate because something isn't working. So that's when you innovate. You want to create, not copy. And finally, live with audacity. What's that? It's to live boldly. It's to live boldly. Go where you've never been before. Do things you've never done before. See if something works. We're talking about that, I think, about Thomas Edison. You know, he was one of the world's biggest failures because he found out so many ways electricity wouldn't work. That didn't stop him. He kept on until he finally perfected getting electricity. So go boldly. Live with audacity. Take bold, deliberate steps. Because your genius isn't just about thinking differently, it's about acting differently. So, reject the script. Curiosity is your superpower and catalyst. Embrace contradiction and tension. Create, don't copy, and live with audacity. So what do you do now? Well, you do several things if you want to, and I'll give you this list so that you can maybe think about what you need to be doing differently. First of all, conduct a deconditioning audit. See what you're doing is not working right. See what you're doing that's not consistent with who you are. See what you're doing that would make more sense if you did something else, and maybe identify some things that would help you move forward. Maybe shed a few issues you got going on in your life. Because truly, you can only concentrate on one thing at a time. Gary Keller wrote a book called The One Thing, and so if you need to focus on the one thing, focus on the one thing at a time. You can only focus on one thing at a time. So, conduct a deconditioning audit, maybe eliminate, maybe add. Whichever you need to do, do it. Number 2, block off weekly curiosity time. Take an hour or 2 a week intentionally to sit down and figure out where you are and where you want to go. Figure out what hasn't worked. Figure out maybe some things that might work. That'd be a great idea for you to do. Thirdly, start a noticing journal. Now, if you're not journaling anyway, I'd encourage you to start. What you do in journaling is just basically get the stuff off your brain that's clogging it up. I like to say that the brain is for processing, not for storage. So if something's in there that's just really blocking you, you've heard about brain blocks, something going on in your life, write about it. Get it off your head and into on your paper and write it. Don't type it, write it. Okay, if you have to type it, type it. But get it off your mind so that your brain can do what it does best, which is process, not store. Not stored in there, But processing is what the brain is really good for. It's really known for. It's really famous for processing. Because you need to notice what you're noticing. You need to journal about what you're grateful for. You need to get your thoughts out of here and onto there so that the processing can work even better. So journal about gratitude and journal about what you're noticing. Notice what you're noticing and then write about it. Fourthly, create before you consume. You need to be in your mind and in your business before you're on your business. Your business. You need to be doing some work in your mind and in your database and in your stay in touch list with your clients before you work with somebody else's issues. If you're checking emails, you're going to be working with them. If you're going to be working with you, you work with you so that you don't get cluttered up. You need to work on yourself early on. If you could spend an hour, hour and a half, or 2 hours every day working on you and your business and what you've got going on before you open email or text, man, you'd be super productive. So do that. And then, number 5, refine and redefine the success for you. What does success mean to you? I don't know if you have a purpose, mission, vision statement. Maybe you ought to create one. If you have one, maybe you can refine it. But what is success for you? What is success? That's a good question most people can't answer. And then finally, and we've talked about this before, be a first-class you. Be the best that you can be. Be the best version of you that you can be. Be your best future self today. You don't need to wait until tomorrow. Be it today. Be your best future self. We talked about before. Be you. Because everyone else is already taken. One of the things that I do is I'm a certified why coach, WHY coach, and I can help you determine, uncover, discover your why operating system. I think the why operating system is pretty close to what your genius is. If you'd like to know more about that, I'd be happy to talk with you. My phone number is 505-252-1224. That's a phone and text. Or you can email me at paul@wilsonabq.com, paul@wilsonabq.com, or you can go to my website at youbeyourownboss.com, youbeyourownboss.com, and talk to you a little bit about our program. I hold weekly sessions. It's an 8-week program going on right now. It's called the Life Career Success Journey. It is 8 steps to figuring out who you are and where you are, and ideally, where you want to go. So where do you want to go? You're here. We'll figure out where you are. We need to figure out where you want to go. So if you're interested in any of that, please give me a call. Looking forward to talking with you. Thank you for being here today. Remember, you are a genius. Yes, you are. And God bless you. We'll talk with you soon, hopefully. Thank you.